Donald Trump's presidency began with a flurry of activity. He wasted no time in signing a series of executive orders. These orders aimed to fulfill his campaign promises. One of the first targeted Obamacare. Trump sought to dismantle his predecessor's signature healthcare law. Another order focused on immigration. It restricted travel from several Muslim-majority countries. This Muslim ban sparked protests and legal challenges across the United States. Trump's early actions signaled a sharp break from previous administrations. The speed and scope of Trump's executive actions surprised many. Critics argued that they were implemented without sufficient planning or consideration. They pointed to the chaos and confusion surrounding the rollout of the travel ban as evidence. Supporters, however, praised Trump's decisiveness. They argued that he was taking swift action to address pressing issues. The use of executive orders became a hallmark of Trump's governing style. Trump's early press conferences were also notable for their combative tone. He frequently clashed with reporters. He accused the media of bias and spreading fake news. His confrontational approach further heightened tensions between the White House and the press. These tensions would continue throughout his presidency. Trump's relationship with the media was just one example of his unconventional approach to politics. In January 2018, Trump traveled to Davos, Switzerland. He was attending the World Economic Forum. This annual gathering brings together global elites. Business leaders, politicians, and celebrities mingle and discuss pressing issues. Trump's presence at Davos was highly anticipated. Many were eager to hear how the new president would address the world stage. Trump's speech did not disappoint. It was a full-throated defense of his America First agenda. Trump declared that the United States would no longer prioritize globalism over its own interests. He criticized multilateral trade deals. He argued that they had hurt American workers. Trump also took aim at NATO allies. He accused them of not spending enough on defense. His speech sent shockwaves through the Davos crowd. Many were accustomed to hearing American presidents espouse the virtues of free trade and international cooperation. Trump's nationalist rhetoric marked a clear departure from this tradition. The reaction to Trump's speech was mixed. Some business leaders expressed concern about his protectionist policies. They worried that tariffs and trade wars would harm the global economy. Others were more receptive to Trump's message. They agreed that the global trading system needed reform. Trump's speech signaled a shift in the global order. The United States, long a champion of multilateralism, was now embracing a more unilateralist approach. Trump's America First foreign policy had a profound impact on international relations. His approach was characterized by skepticism towards traditional alliances and a willingness to confront rivals. Trump's relationship with NATO was particularly strained. He repeatedly questioned the value of the alliance. He also criticized NATO members for not meeting their defense spending commitments. His rhetoric alarmed many European leaders. Trump's approach to trade was also disruptive. He imposed tariffs on goods from China, Mexico, and the European Union. These tariffs were intended to protect American jobs. However, they also led to retaliatory tariffs from other countries. This tit-for-tat escalation of tariffs raised concerns about a global trade war. Trump's trade policies had a significant impact on the global economy. Trump's relationship with Russia was also a source of controversy. He spoke warmly of Russian President Vladimir Putin. He also downplayed Russian interference in the 2016 US presidential election. Trump's stance on Russia put him at odds with many in the US intelligence community. It also strained relations with European allies. Trump's foreign policy was often unpredictable. He relied on his own instincts rather than the advice of experts. This approach led to both successes and failures. Section 4. America First on the world stage. Trump's America First philosophy was the guiding principle of his foreign policy. He argued that the United States had been taken advantage of in trade deals and international agreements. He pledged to put American interests first, even if it meant alienating allies or disrupting global norms. Trump's approach was a radical departure from the foreign policy of previous administrations. Supporters of Trump's America First agenda argued that it was necessary to protect American jobs and security. They believed that the United States had been too willing to accommodate the interests of other countries at the expense of its own. Trump's tough stance on trade and his willingness to challenge allies, they argued, were signs of strength, not weakness. Critics of America First argued that it was short-sighted and counterproductive. They pointed out that the United States benefited from global trade and a strong network of alliances. They argued that Trump's policies were alienating allies and damaging America's global standing. They also expressed concern that his rhetoric was encouraging nationalism and protectionism around the world. Section 5. The enduring legacy of disruption. Donald Trump's presidency was one of the most consequential in American history. His America First agenda and his disruptive approach to governance left a lasting impact on both the United States and the world. Trump's presidency exposed deep divisions within American society. It also accelerated trends that were already reshaping the global order. Trump's legacy is complex and contested. His supporters view him as a transformative figure who challenged the status quo and put America first. His critics see him as a demagogue who damaged American democracy and undermined the country's standing in the world. Only time will tell what the ultimate impact of Trump's presidency will be. However, one thing is certain. Trump's presidency was a pivotal moment in American history. It marked a departure from the post-World War II consensus on American global leadership. It also ushered in an era of heightened political polarization and social division.